All right, so let's keep going. So I've showed you the jump list. I showed you alternate file. It's pretty cool, right? Like there is a lot of navigation that is available, but none of that is quite as good as a fuzzy finder. So we probably need to do something about that, right? But before we do that, we are going to take a quick pit stop right here and just kind of talk about everything to kind of go over all the things we learned, right? If anyone has any thoughts or questions about just like general motion navigation, meaning within a file. Anyways, so one thing that always kind of was hard for me at first was just hopping efficiently between the modes. One thing I would recommend is you can try remapping your caps lock key to escape. I've heard people like that a bunch. So being able to switch really quick out has been fantastic. So I started using Control-C to swap out because Control-C was really nice. It was really easy. A common one that I see all the time, we're kind of in the rift zone right now, so we're riffing, so who knows what's going to happen out here, right? I'm going to edit this, and I see this all the time. I personally don't like it, but I know people like it. So go I-nor-map JK, and then go escape, right? That's it. So I'm going to remap JK while in insert mode to actually become the escape key instead. So let's just shout it out. I could type that, or remember, I can just do space enter. Boom, did it. Now I'm over here typing, and then I go JK. I'm out. I'm back into normal mode, right? So I have now made it into what I want. Some people use JJ. So that way, I wouldn't suggest JJ Abrams. That's way too long. But one thing that's nice about that is you can just start scrolling, right? And it will just start doing it for you. But notice that you get that weird offset. It's why I don't like it, is when you type a J, it like trips me up for a second because the J appears after my cursor. And I'm like, my brain just can't handle that. That's why I usually don't like those type of remaps. And it also feels funny. I like to just try to use as many default Vim bindings as I can, unless if they're terrible. And so like executing Vex, I'm fine having that as a remap because that's just a command. I type it in, it's slow. Or I can make it into my own personal one. But escape is just escape, or Control-C is just Control-C. I can get used to that. All right, and so that's kind of my general approach there. All right, the vimrc. So we do know a little bit about it. We do know that Viml, that language we're using to describe the changes to our vimrc and what we want to have happen, it's kind of ugly. Okay, we can all be honest with ourselves. It's a weird-looking language. It has a lot of Vim-isms built into it because it's a language for an editor. It's generally pretty hard to learn. And there's, it only has one use case, making Vim stuff, right? And so I know a lot of people that just tend to avoid it. I recommend learning enough. Is there any, I don't think there will be any questions about what we've done so far, but if there is, please throw it in the chat. I hear you're 5 seconds delayed. Or speak now or forever hold your peace inside of the Zoom meeting. But here's the deal. Don't be asking questions that haven't existed yet. Someone's going to be like, well, how do you make functions? I'm like, no, shh. There is like a GUI cursor, something or another. I forget exactly what it is. I have it in my vimrc. Hold on. Edit vimrc. Sorry, we don't have any of I don't have any of my normal navigations open right now. But if I'm not mistaken, it's under my sets. GUI cursor equals. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to yank it into a special register. As you can see right there, I did like an extra couple commands. And so now I should be able to do that. Awesome. And so now let's vim this. And I do... Oh no, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Anyways, I think it was set GUI cursor. I believe that's the one I did, so let's shout that out. Now when I go into insert mode, it remains thick. I actually really like the thick-looking cursor. It's just like something I've gotten pretty used to. Some people don't like that at all. I don't know why. It's just like super comforting to me. It just is so great. Anyways, so there you go. I hope that answers the question. I kind of guessed a little bit what that question was meaning. But anyways, there you go. So there are so many things. You can also, like I said, just Google it. Because who would have guessed GUI cursor, right? And if you would have opened up a help options and then started typing the word cursor in, trying to look for the word cursor, you're going to just be like, I don't know which one to do, right? It's just like way too many options. It would have been very, very difficult to find it. You could have also done help, cursor, and then tried to like tab complete it. Maybe you would have found it. You would have to guess which one it's going to be. But as you can see, like there's just so many options, right? I saw one that said Perl. That sounds dangerous. I'd just stay away from that at all costs. All right. File navigation. So there's some options. Marks are pretty awesome, but they're hard to use. File tree, bit lacking, right? You kind of wish you had some extra features in this file tree. But that telescope, huh? Was that a pretty cool fuzzy finder? The best part about that telescope one is it's not just simply a file finder. You can pipe any table, any list of entries to it. It can fuzzy find, it can send a quick fix list, it can do a whole set of things that you can keep on iterating on it, and it can even hold state. You can also have your own custom remaps with it. It's actually quite incredible. All right, we got 2 questions, it looks like, or just 2 fingers up for 1 question.
Is there a way to do multi-selection in Vim?
So multi-cursors, I assume this is what we're talking about. So there is a couple ways you can sort of accomplish that in Vim. Multi-cursors is always one of the chief questions. I am going to throw this out there that I know I'm going to catch some flack for it. I'm ready. Multi-cursors are an anti-pattern. They solve a particular problem, and you often have to shoehorn them other than, like, say, simple renaming. Simple renaming, you can do a find and replace. You can also execute macros over it. There's also a G command that's incredible with it, where you can actually execute whole set of editor commands on matching patterns. Anything that involves you selecting things like that, I just feel it's always it's there for renames, right? But anything complex, it completely breaks down. Like, say you wanted to take an if statement and switch it into a case statement, using cursors would be terrible, because you'd end up like writing over some of it over here, because you have to use a specific amount of editing. And so that's why I've never found them to be like the real solution. They're just a simple solution that works 80% of the time. So we're going to cover macros here soon, and I'll even go over the G command a little bit. It's a little crazy, but it is definitely what I would consider the better of the 2 options.